Hi everyone, this is Hillary Dunnell for Exeter TV, welcoming you to 2021. For our first report of the year, we have an update on town deliberative session and election, a COVID update, and more. It's the start of a new year, which in New Hampshire means looking forward to our annual town meeting. Here in Exeter, our SB2 status means that we typically hold a deliberative session followed by an election for our town meeting. COVID-19 is going to make things a little different this year. And here's Bob Glowacki with what you can expect.
At the recent Select Board meeting of January 19th, the board continued discussions from previous meetings on whether to hold a virtual event or an adapted in-person event.
Deliberative session. Just to summarize quickly, we have two options before us, having a deliberative session or HB 1129. We've had extensive conversation and deliberation.
After hearing the SAU 16's plans for their deliberative session, the Select Board members raised concerns about how those options have the potential to disenfranchise voters.
Selectwoman Cowan's concerns are really valid in that I don't want to have a super spreader event here in town that we vote to put in. My only concern about a virtual event is that we cut out the interaction between voters, and so I'm still kind of torn about which way to go. But I'm leaning towards the virtual solution.
Select Board member Molly Cowan moved that the town hold a virtual session different from the option outlined by the state. Discussion then moved to what the alternative would be should the state not allow such a meeting.
Mr. Scafidi?
Yeah, my only question is what happens, and I'm not looking for any answers right now or anything else. Keep it in mind what happens if the state says you can't do that. Like Mr. Dean stated earlier, we're under time constraint right now. So I would suggest somehow we find out whether this vote is okayed by the state and everything can be done. If not, you need a plan B to come up with in a very quick fashion. So like I said, the moderator, the supervisor, the checklist, the town clerk's office willing to do it any way you guys want to do it. I just want to make sure that if we find out on Thursday or Friday of this week that, you can't do it that way, we better have something really quick to come up with to make sure we meet all the specifications or everything else that we want to do.
The state has basically left it up to the towns up till now. The governor was able to issue executive orders back in March instructing towns how to hold meetings. The majority of this board just voted 4-1 for a virtual meeting that preserves democracy. And barring any objection from Attorney Mitchell, the governor is going to be served with a letter from this board pleading with him respectfully to issue an executive order. I hope he hears the message. But the answer to your question is, I think the consensus of the board is that if we are told that we cannot do this, then we need to look at a deliberative session that absolutely gives folks, and if it's every single citizen that goes to deliberative session wants to be outside, then we need to find a way to make it work. We need to make people able to not have to worry about getting gravely ill to come to deliberative session.
To watch the full meeting, go to Channel 22 in Exeter or visit our website, exeternh.tv. As more information becomes available about the deliberative session, we'll be posting it on our social media and town website.
Candidate filing is now open to Exeter residents. Here's what you need to know if that interests you. Are you interested in running for public office in Exeter, New Hampshire? The following positions are open: Select Board, Moderator, Trustee of Swayze Parkway, Trustee of the Trust Funds, Trustee of the Robinson Fund, and Library Trustee. The filing period for town offices begins Wednesday, January 20th and closes Friday, January 29th at 5 p.m. You can find the candidate filing form at exeternh.gov/town clerk/open positions town offices. Stop by the town clerk's office during regular business hours to file for candidacy. And now, some information on where the town will be posting COVID-19 information and updates.
We'll be posting COVID-related updates and other news on exeternh.gov. Click the banner at the top of the webpage. Updated today is information regarding Phase 1B vaccinations. Registration is currently open to those who fall into the Phase 1B category. To find out if you fall into Phase 1, visit vaccines.nh.gov. Phase 1B scheduling began today at 8 a.m. and vaccinations start on January 26th. To check if you fall into the Phase 1B category, click Do I Qualify? You'll be asked a series of questions to determine if you qualify for this phase of vaccinations. Vaccinations beginning on January 26th will be open to people who are age 65 and older, medically vulnerable individuals at significantly higher risk, including family caregivers for those under 16, staff and residents at residential facilities for persons with disabilities, and correction officers and staff working in correctional facilities. To register for the vaccine, New Hampshire residents can visit vaccines.nh.gov, or for those without internet access, call 211 and they can assist with the registration process.
Exeter TV's Darren Castro has launched a new show for Channel 98, and here's your preview.
We were about to hit it big, and then everything shut down. And to stay safe, everything has to go online.
Missing live music, but trying to stay safe during the pandemic? If so, this is the perfect show for you. Sounds of Swayze is a new music profile show at Exeter TV that will cover local artists, bands, and musicians. Each episode features an interview as well as a 10 to 15 minute acoustic set, bringing you live performances you can enjoy in the safety of your own home.
Really embrace all the painful moments where you feel bad about your playing or singing or songwriting, and just really persevere and keep telling yourself that you're gonna get better if you keep working on it.
If you're a local performer interested in participating or have any questions about the show, contact us at dcastro@exeternh.gov.
Up next, an SAU 16 update from Blue Hawk Media, followed by Sherm Chester with your sports breakdown.
Session. We met last week, as you know, and set the date for the deliberative session for Saturday, January the 30th at 2 in the afternoon. They are going to be able to set up a very safe environment in the auditorium. Chairs are already marked for 6 feet apart. I won't go into all of the details with you, but for those people who are coming in who will be asked to wear masks that day, they will be sent to the auditorium. There may be some voters who may come in who may be unmasked for whatever reasons they may have. They will be sent to the small gym. So we will not have folks in the auditorium without masks on, and that will take care of our indoor facility. When I asked the question with regard to outdoor, I was thrilled to hear that they are able to provide us with outdoor attendance as well at the same time.
The winter sports season opened on a winning note for the Exeter Blue Hawk basketball teams with a girls and boys victory over the Winnicott Warriors. After an inconsistent first half, the defending Division I champion boys started to get their rhythm shooting and playing tighter defense. That led to a 59-50 win. Thomas Delgado dialed in with 5 3-pointers, and he led all scorers with 19 on the night. For the Lady Blue Hawks, they were led by Christina Snicer. She had 14 points in their 62-52 victory and opens up what looks like a very promising season and continues with their home opener against Winnicott in a rematch. The boys' next game, that's on the road in Hampton. The boys' hockey season scheduled to start this week against Trinity, and the girls' hockey season scheduled to start right now on February 2nd against Berlin Gorham. You can catch all the Blue Hawk games on Channel 13 and streaming on Blue Hawk Media. And make sure you stay tuned to Exeter TV on YouTube, and we'll bring you in-depth breakdowns of all things Blue Hawks right here on the Seacoast Sports Forum.
Up next, we have members of the Racial Unity team to give you a look into an upcoming youth program that I think looks totally inspiring.
I'm Doug, and I am working on the project Spoken Word and Songwriting for Social Change. And in terms of what we're going to be doing with the kids, we're going to be having mentors from all over the country talk about their experience with music and their involvement in making the world a better place through the social justice movement. And so our work is going to be really just kind of trying to open up some worlds of art for kids and for music. And I think we've talked a lot about using spoken. I can't get the poet at the inauguration out of my head, just in how inspiring those words can be. And in fact, every person that I've talked to pretty much said that was the highlight, right, of like the whole thing. Yeah. So the idea is that poetry and songs and art is a lot of times the best vehicle we have for talking about these issues in an inclusive way. So what we want to do is inspire these kids by having them exposed to a bunch of different forms of art and music, and then have themselves be writing and reflecting on their experiences, and then bringing that together in either a song format, or maybe it's a spoken word, or maybe it's a poem with some background music, and just collaboratively working on building pieces of art that, like that poet, we can share with other people, and just to be a light in our community and a force for bringing people together and sharing stories, so that we just have a better idea of what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes.
So it's an 8-week project. We are pretty sure that it will be the second week of February unless something moves us a week later. We're counting on the sessions to be about half kind of role modeling, mentoring of what students might choose as a genre, and do the creative writing in between our meetings. And then we'll have about 4 weeks of just plain old, coaching, whatever they need, thinking about how they might put their words to music or percussion. And we have amazing teacher mentors. Just, I'm so excited about the people who are coming in from all over the nation, really. All of these people are forward thinkers, social justice advocates. They don't want to stay where we are. That's what we want and what we need. So status quo is not an option for any of us. Business as usual is hurting us. So we want to think with new eyes and look at things in a new way.
Exactly. You'll definitely want to be looking to the skies this weekend, as a unique astronomical event is occurring. Here's more.
It will look like a relatively bright pinkish star. Not the absolute brightest stars in the sky, but pretty bright. It will have a slight pink tint to it. If you have a compass or maybe a compass app on your telephone, you can find its azimuth, its bearing on a compass of, let's see, 243 degrees. So that puts it somewhere but in the southwestern sky. less than the width of your fist held at arm's distance above the southwestern horizon. So you go out after sunset between 5:15 and 5:30. Now, Mercury won't disappear the next night. It'll be visible for a few nights after that. So if you miss it, you can go out the next night. Let's say it's cloudy on the 23rd, but it's nice and clear on the 24th. Go out on the next night or the next night after that, as long as it's clear, and you'll still get to see Mercury. It'll just be a little closer to the sun after the 23rd.
It's best to have binoculars. Don't use the binoculars to look at the sun, of course, but as soon as the sun is below the horizon, you can start scanning gently back and forth with binoculars to look for that event. And if you do, you'll be one of the rare few who has actually seen Mercury. And it's surprising sometimes you see it and not even sure that you are seeing it. The cool thing about it this time around is that on the 23rd, there are other planets in the sky which make for a good view. And so I'd like to share my screen here and make that happen. I'm going to bring up a piece of software, which is freeware, by the way. It's called Stellarium. And you can just download that by going off to stellarium.org and downloading the package. And this is the evening looking southwest just before sunrise from Exeter, New Hampshire. But we can make the sun set. We can go hour by hour. And the planet Jupiter is very low to the horizon here. And you might, if you're lucky, you might spot Jupiter first, and then it will rapidly set as the sky gets progressively darker. You'll see Mercury above the horizon over there, low in the southwest sky. So that is...
All right, everyone, looks like it's a wrap for us this week. But first, let's check out the weather to see what the skies are going to look like this weekend. Friday will be partly cloudy, with a high of 43 degrees and a low of 22 degrees. Saturday will be sunny, with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 15 degrees. Sunday will be mostly sunny, with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And Monday will also be sunny, with a high of 35 degrees and a low of 20 degrees.